My name's Nicole.
And this is my show. Green light. Go, people. Now.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
You're supposed to finish your intro.
I'm talking about stuff that's going on in the world.
My name's Nicole. Hey y'all, this is your girl Monique Dior, and we have a special guest today, Nicole Ortiz. She is an actor, she's a comedian, she is a writer, producer, director, all of the above. My baby got accolades, okay? Yes, so she is the only person that calls me Auntie Monique.
Auntie!
Or Auntie Momo.
Hey.
And I absolutely love it. Excuse us, we're riding in the car, so this footage will be a little shaky, okay? So I'm just interviewing her, you know, just getting to know her. You know, she has a YouTube channel. It's called My Name's Nicole.
And this is my
show. So we're just gonna chat with her and, you know, see what she's been up to.
Yeah, baby, let's slide out. Slide out. Come with me, be free. I'ma take you to my hideout. No G, good me and you, we can ride out. Yeah. Energy sweet as can be, baby girl, we gon' vibe out. Baby, let's slide out. Yeah. Pick up the pace, I'm watching that waist, yeah. The look in your eyes make me wanna taste, yeah. Island girl, come rock my world. Queen of the
So how did you discover comedy, or how did you get into comedy?
So I was writing before this. I used to write screenplays and I wrote comedies, and during that time I actually met a comedian and he asked me to ghostwrite for him, and I thought that was like freaking awesome. He thinks that I'm funny enough to freaking write for him. So went through that process. That ended up being a whole bar situation. That's a whole nother episode, right? It's a whole nother episode. Then I met another comedian who, when I was kind of playing with the idea of possibly doing stand-up, like I don't know if this is for me, I don't know, I was kind of doing my research and just going to some places to watch stand-up or whatever. Another comedian approached me and was talking and asking about me writing for them and stuff like that, and that ended up being the same type of situation. These are all men, by the way. Men are disgusting. Blanket statement, just leave it there. But anyway, that was a situation I didn't feel comfortable, so I didn't entertain that. And again, it made me think, if these comedians think that I'm funny enough to write for them, like, bitch, do it yourself. And I just like put on my big girl panties and got up there and fucking did it.
I like it. What does comedy mean to you?
Comedy is everything. It's an unhealthy response to trauma and bullshit around you. It's motivation. It is rewarding for me to make people laugh, to kind of interject that into like awkward situations, bad situations. It's life-giving. So, yeah.
She has a set about Trina, and I think you said she was one of the greatest poets. She said that she's one of the greatest poets of the world. I'm not gonna give y'all the whole joke, but when she said it, I'm like, Trina don't do no poetry. What is she talking about? But when she did the joke, y'all, and broke it down, I cried. Like, real tears cried. So, really good. So, how do you come up with your material?
You know this from knowing me. I'm just for the foolishness at all times. And to experience my stand-up is to get a glimpse into the weird part of my brain. That's kind of it. Like, some stuff goes down and it's like, you know, you just ask yourself questions and then you just kind of run with that. Or even stuff that happens just in real life, you just kind of run with that. Like, that could have gone bad. Like, that was bad, but what if this had happened in addition to that? Then it just cascades from there.
So how do you come up with the set?
I like to build, like I say, assessing how much time you have. If you have a 15-minute set, I like to kind of take a story approach. So like jokes tend to connect at some point or whatever. I'm not very much a comedian who does like one-liners. I'm not a one-liner kind of person. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I actually need to work on that, practice that a little bit more, so I have some more little quick zingers. But you know, I just keep the model of the broad story per se, and then that every 18 seconds hit them kind of thing.
So my next question for you, Nicole, would be, how often do you write new material?
Constantly.
Really?
Constantly. I was just telling you, mentioning something my dad said last weekend. I was just telling Monique about it. I wrote that down just last night. And I was just like, just silly stuff happens, and you just kind of expand upon that. Or like, have you ever had a situation where something happens and it reminds you of something else funny that happened that's similar to that situation? Like, sometimes you can conjoin those two events and make it seem like one event.
One big event.
And even though they're both true stories, they might not have happened at one time, but it just makes the whole situation
bigger.
That was and it's just, you can just go from there constantly.
Completely understand. So when you have a comedy show coming up, how do you prepare?
So for me, I like to have all of my material prepped before I go in. I need to know how much time I'm doing, understanding the venue. And when I say that, I mean kind of the dynamics of who you're talking to or whatever. To be authentic to yourself, you don't want to change too much, but you definitely want to understand if you're doing a Mother's Day show and there's mostly middle-aged mothers there, don't talk about your vagina as much. But if you're talking to a room full of college students, you can talk about your vagina and asshole, whatever you want to talk about. That's fine. Not that all my jokes are vagina and asshole jokes, but like a good bit, I would say.
So, have you ever bombed?
Oh yeah. Yes. There was. It was bad. I feel like it was bad. Other comedians were there. They were like, "It's not that bad," but it was probably that bad.
So what happened?
So there's this place called LOL Nachos, right, in Tallahassee, and when I tell you it's that big, literally it's like a hallway, the freaking 5 tables, and like 2 guys working behind the counter or whatever with a little barrier making nachos and shit. So I had just started comedy, like maybe it was like my 3rd set ever. And I was terrified. For whatever reason, I do better in front of larger crowds than I do small rooms. This is when I learned that. So I got there and there were 7 people there. 2 people that worked there, a comedian. The other comedians were standing outside smoking, so they weren't there. The guy who introduced me to the stage, he walked outside. He was smoking. And my cousin was there, and then 3 people. I think they may have been crackheads. There were 3 people there.
Good night.
No, they were so it's just them. My cousin does not count. No one laughed at my little jokes. And the one comedian I mentioned, I did like a bit making reference to like Bebe's kids. And besides my cousin and the one comedian that was in my room, everybody else was white. So it was just the 3 of us, black folks. And my cousin didn't laugh, but because I was talking about one of my cousins. So I don't know if that was familiar shit. Like you don't talk about our cousin like that. But the comedian Tech Johnson was hysterically laughing to the point where everyone turned and looked at Tech. This wasn't even a stage. It was literally just, I was at the end of the hallway holding a microphone. Why did they give me a microphone for 7 people? I don't know.
So everybody can hear you.
I don't know. Maybe they wanted the comedians outside smoking to hear me.
There you go.
Maybe that's what it was. Them being considerate. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I bombed. It was bad. And when I got off, I was like, cousin. And she was like, it's okay, cousin. You just got started. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't help, cousin.
So how do you recover from bombing? Like, what do you tell yourself? Because I know you're probably like in a pit and you like, bruh, I'm not funny. I don't want to do comedy no more. Like, I quit. So how do you pick yourself up out of that?
So when you bomb, you feel like absolute shit. You feel like why am I doing this? Like, I need to fucking just go to work and just not do this shit anymore. I'm ashamed to come into LOL Nacho ever again. You just have to remind yourself that every failure is a lesson. Mm-hmm. So in that situation, I kind of learned the lesson. I do better in larger rooms. So you cannot control if you're going to be in a small room or a larger room. Mm-hmm. So what you need to do is figure out how to combat that. And I figured out, don't look people in the eyes.
Look at the ceiling or the wall.
I look at right here on people's foreheads. Mm-hmm. I look right there. So now I can work a smaller room. I will be nervous, but I can work a smaller room better. Also learned kind of a hindsight thing. When you're not comfortable, when you don't believe it, when you're not buying it, that you're comfortable, no one is. And that does not put audiences. When my job is supposed to make you laugh, I'm supposed to be comfortable and confident in the fact that I am funny. I'm here to make you laugh. Mm-hmm. But if I come like, hey, is it okay if I make you laugh? You don't want to laugh? Okay, that's fine. I wrote these things. It might make you laugh. Exactly. Like, you can't come with that. You can't give those vibes. Gotcha. So you have to come with these. I don't know if y'all motherfuckers heard. I'm funny as fuck. I'm here. I got 10 minutes. Y'all got 10 minutes. So buckle up, bitch. Like, that's how you got to come at these people. So like I said, you just learn those types of lessons. Also, knowing your audience. LOL Nachos on the college side of town, FSU side of town, white audience. Maybe don't talk about Bebe's kids because they're not going to get it. Not that it might not be a good joke. It's just not the content.
They can't relate.
You can't relate. Yeah, that's what it is. They can't relate to that. The challenge right now, I think, for writers, directors, actors, comedians, is to still be relevant and thriving during the quarantine. And it has presented new challenges and also new opportunities. And I, for one, feel like I'm taking advantage. I feel like Monique is taking advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So what are you doing to take advantage of this quarantine opportunity?
Definitely taking a lot of time to write. The time that I would have spent at auditions and, turn this down. The time that I would have spent at auditions or, learning new monologues or whatever, or being on set or whatever, I'm using that energy. I'm not doing that like as downtime. I'm taking that time to write new things, brainstorm new things or whatever. And one thing that's been important is to always identify who else is on that same journey. So working with people who are trying to work right now. Monique is trying to work. We're going to collaborate. We're going to work on some stuff together.
And ease.
So that's what I've been doing, just writing constantly, trying to sign up for virtual shows. We have virtual online shows. Follow me on Instagram, Nicole Ortiz D's.
Gonna put that right there.
Right there.
Right there. At the bottom. At the bottom. Go down. Down.
Right. It's right there. She is like crazy. Like this galaxy is different from Samsung.
Hey. Leave Androids alone. Team Android. I love my Droid. We have space. We don't have to worry about storage space.
Hangs head low. Sad part is, my phone is 65 gigs. And I have 50 gigs in the cloud. And it's still not enough.
Sure. Have you ever had an acting role where you can be a comedian?
Not a comedian. I have been a minor comedic relief. So I've been in like, I've had some minor comedic relief. A couple of roles like that. One, I was like an audience member. There was like this failed game show going on, and I was this disruptive audience member. That was actually kind of fun. And then I was in a web series, Hedges, and I was the fun friend, the party friend kind of thing or whatever. So I get to have some moments. But even in that Hedges one, there was more depth to that character. It wasn't just the For one point, she's just like, hey, buddy, nice to see you kind of thing. I'm not doing it now. I can act for real. Y'all got to watch me.
Okay. So speaking of acting, what advice would you give to a beginning actor?
Ooh, beginning actor. Really take the time to figure out who you are. Before you try to become someone else, take the time to figure out who you are and what you want out of that experience. Some roles are detrimental. Some roles are draining. Some roles are fun. This is cakewalk. And you need to not carry some of that home with you. I've had some roles where they were draining emotionally, and you want to bring that energy to the forefront. You want to give that off, but you don't want to ever take that home. You can't, like, even with writing, like, you know, when I write something, I've written some like very sad, very depressing type stuff, and to really get into that character's mindset, you have to kind of put yourself there, and answer those questions. When you're doing your character development, you have to answer those questions. What is this character's motivation? What is harming this character? Why does this character behave this way? Why does this person reach for, you know, connection? Things like that. You have to leave it there, leave it on the table, walk away. But other than that, don't lose yourself in this. Every role, you're gonna be told no. Not everything is for you. Not every production.
Preach!
Not every production is for you. I'm a very strong supporter of creating your own tables. I've not gotten a lot of roles because, you know, I'm chunky, I'm black, you know, I'm not 18, you know, but that doesn't mean I'm not a good actor. You have to find that space that works for you, because it's with acting, it's not just your abilities. You can be great. I've been told that I'm great and given a tiny role on set for somebody who can't even memorize their lines, stares directly into the camera lens and everything else, like all just like the basic things. It's like, bitch, but that just wasn't meant for me. That wasn't for me. And it's like taking those L's are lessons. Again, like I said, I had been on sets and taking these tiny roles or whatever, and was watching people just fuck up, and it motivated me to create my own table, to write my own scripts, and to step out and meet people behind the scenes, and to volunteer my services from different sets and things like that. Don't be afraid to do something outside of your comfort zone. That's a big thing too. I have gone in, you know, with that being said, I've auditioned for bigger roles and got smaller ones, but also auditioned for smaller ones and gotten bigger because I was willing to take on the challenge of a different type of character. With the play that we were in, I actually auditioned for Margaret. I auditioned to be a small minor comedic relief. That's
Are you serious?
I auditioned for a small buddy, yeah, for a comedic relief.
Y'all, I am in shock because Margaret role was like, it was important, but it wasn't one of the main characters. And to know that that's what she auditioned for, you tried yourself.
That's, I think, like, I think that also comes a lesson that I have to learn for myself, to not undersell myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which one did I go out for? I think I did. Oh yeah, I read for Ella, and I read for Miss Ingram.
Oh
yeah. Why did I go for the mean people? I'm not mean. I'm a sweetheart. Anyway, thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for taking time out to speak to my people.
Thank you for having me.
And reach out to them. So what else would you like to say before we end this video, or what encouraging words do you have to the young fresh comedian or the young fresh actor?
Just keep at it. Like, you're gonna hear a million no's, and you're gonna be told that you're not doing something right. Find the people who you know are genuinely trying to work and trying to better themselves. Try to create relationships in that sense. You need actor friends who are trying to take different lessons and seminars, and who are and also giving with their information. I have several actor friends who have taught me about a lot of stuff. Kayla's helped me out with like headshots and stuff like that. Like, you know, that's what you need. You need somebody who does design. You need somebody who does production. You need somebody who knows the
friend
camera.
for everything.
Yes, you need friends for everything. Woo! And people who are willing to share their gifts, and you have to be willing to share and help others as well.
I agree.
You definitely want to do that. Like I said, keep at it. Believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You can't do this without believing in yourself. You can't do this without loving yourself. If you're comfortable in who you are and love yourself, you can put anything up. Anything up. Quality.
Say that word again.
Quality.
Amen. Well, thank y'all again so much for watching. Hope you got some gems from this video. This again is my amazing friend Nicole Ortiz. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to her YouTube channel. Also like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all. Go back in your free time, go back and watch an old video. Leave a comment on an old video. And you've already subscribed, so I don't have to tell you to do that again. But if you haven't, you know, what are you waiting for? Thank y'all again so much for watching. I can't talk. Where are we walking to? Thank y'all so much again for watching. Monique Dior is